Nancy Blaze here at Bowman Library with a whole new teen book spotlight. So for this week, our theme is all about science fiction. Because if you're like me, this coming weekend, like the 27th, the new season of Stranger Things comes out. So using that as some inspiration, we are exploring some science fiction books. Now remember, science fiction is defined as something that could possibly happen in the future. No matter how far-fetched it may seem, it's something that could possibly happen at some point in our future. So with that framework, that definition in mind, we have 6 amazing titles that we're going to look at. For some reason, there's a lot of first and a duology this week, but there are some standalones as well. So let's get started. Our first one is Sky Hunter this is the new Marie Lu series. So Talon is a disgraced refugee. She's living in this nation that's known as Mara, and Mara is fighting a losing battle against the Karasina Federation. Now, this federation, they don't use your typical soldiers. Instead, they use these things they call ghosts. Now, these are humans that were dead, but they have been genetically re-engineered to be these killing machines. The only thing the country of Mara has going for her is the fact that they have some skilled fighters, and Talon is one of them. Now, Talon, even though she's not respected because she's a refugee, she does actually gain respect because she's a pretty skilled warrior, and she's part of an elite squadron whose job it is to find these ghosts and to defeat them. When she is summoned, though, to witness the execution of one of these ghosts, while she's standing there waiting for it to happen, she gets this feeling that there's just something different about this one, and she argues to spare his life. Now, because she does this, she kind of brings disgrace on herself. They decide not to execute this ghost, but they have to also punish Talon for speaking out like she did. And now she is assigned this prisoner of war to be her new partner. And in Mara, when you're fighting, your partner becomes your blood ally, basically. You're bonded together for life. So she's going to be bonded together with this prisoner of war. But as she starts to get to know him, she starts to soon realize that there's a secret about him. And this secret could change everything with their battle with the Federation. And again, it could change everything, especially when she finds out he is their greatest, most feared experiment ever. Now, this is the first in a completed duology. It's filled with action, there's intrigue, there's a little bit of mystery, there is some romance. I will tell you, there is a cliffhanger, so you will want the second one. This is Sky Hunter. Our next one is Exo. So aliens have been living on Earth for the past 100 years. Everyone is living in peace now. Technology has gone to a point, though, with this agreement with the aliens that when you turn 5 or 6 years old, you are then given what's called an exocell. It's this hard alien skeleton that is fused into your body, and it gives you protection from bodily harm. But not everyone thinks it's a good thing. Not everyone agrees with it. And there's this small group of humans that they're known as sapes that they don't believe in this, and they decide they're going to use violence to make their point across that they don't agree with this. They've moved underground, they're considered terrorists, and again, they just want to try to kill people. So Donovan, who has an exocell, he's 17 years old, he finds himself in this unique position because his dad is called the Prime Liaison. He is the lead diplomat for the humans on Earth with the aliens, so he has power. And then his mother, who went underground with the sapes, is part of that group. So he is like the 2 complete spectrums of parents. Now, when Donovan is on patrol one night, he is captured by the sapes, and he knows he's going to be tortured. Pretty much he's going to be tortured and he's going to be executed. And while he's being tortured, this group, the sapes, they realize who he is, who he's related to on both sides. And they decide they're going to use him as a bargaining chip to try to get what they want. And what they want it's going to inch them closer to an intergalactic war battle that could literally destroy everything. There is a sequel, because there is a cliffhanger to the end of this one. If you like your sci-fi with some ethical questions, some dilemmas in there, decisions that will make you think, questions that will make you wonder, look no further. This is EXO. Amid Stars in Darkness. The first in a completed trilogy. Over the past 3 years, aliens from the planet Zenith, they made contact with Earth, and now they are living among humans. Delaney's out with friends one evening. She's a human, and then out of the blue, she's kidnapped. And she has no idea why, and when she wakes up, she is on this spaceship, no idea where she is, what is going on. She starts asking questions. Everyone looks at her super confused, because Delaney soon finds out that she has been mistaken for this alien princess known as Lisa Olina, and she's disappeared. She has run off. They think Delaney is her, and that they have found the princess. Now, Delaney also then learns maybe the reason why Lisa left is Lisa is set to marry this violent and abusive prince. And she decides that she doesn't want to do that. So she is snuck down to Earth and she's in hiding. Now, if Delaney is going to avoid being killed, though, she's going to have to fool everyone that she's being the princess. And she's going to have to pretend to be on the throne, to know what she's doing, that she's planning on marrying this prince. And she has no idea when she gets to court everything that is going on. And all the intrigue, the mystery, the backstabbing, the alliances, all of that. No idea about any of it. She's trying to figure all that. She starts falling in love with a guard. And the science fiction is filled with court intrigue. There's a little bit of action and adventure. There's romance. There's mystery. And I will tell you this, you will learn, I don't know, my opinion was Lisa's pretty an unlikable character. But if you kind of like that type of stuff, perfect choice. If you like your sci-fi a little bit on the lighter side, this fits the bill. Again, this is the first one in the trilogy, Amid Stars and Darkness. Marrow Thieves. Love this one. This one came out a couple years ago. I just recently found it. Love it. I will tell you this, there is a second novel that has come out 10 years after this one was written. That's how I came across this one. You don't necessarily need to read this one to understand that one, but it does definitely help. Now, this is due to global warming and changes. People are no longer able to dream in the future, okay? So they go to sleep, but they're not dreaming. There is a small group of people, though, who still can. Frenchie is part of the Metis people, and they are part of an indigenous group of people that are known as the First Nations. It's this group that can still dream. And people decide there's a business to be had there. So there are people that are called harvesters that they go out into the world and they try to find Frenchie and his people, and they want to find them, kill them, and then harvest their bone marrow. Because they think that their bone marrow holds the key to having a dream. They can then take this bone marrow and they can sell it to people who want to have that one last dream while they're sleeping. Frenchie, then, that means he is constantly on the run for his life. He's in hiding. And he learns how to survive in the wilderness, because that's seems like the only place where they really can't be found. And he has this small group that he finds solace with, but they never know what is going to happen next or where the next danger lies. But believe it or not, one of them holds the secret to defeating the harvesters that they call the Marrow Thieves. And it could change everything. But this person doesn't know they have this ability, this secret. There is a sequel to this science fiction, part dystopian, part survival story, which will have you turning pages as fast as you can, because you're going to want to figure out what happens to Frenchie and his crew. This is the Marrow Thieves. Daughter of the Deep. This is the new Rick Riordan. It is a standalone, which is kind of unique for him. So if you want some Rick Riordan, but you don't want to make a life commitment, Daughter of the Deep. So it's the last day of school for Anna and her classmates, which means it's time for them to undergo their end of the year trials, which is one of the most important tests she's ever going to have to take, because it's going to determine her placement for the next school year at the Harding Pencroft Academy. Now, this prestigious school is all about everything and anything marine. And if you want any job having to do with the ocean, whether it's a marine biologist, being a naval officer, explorer, any of that type of stuff, then you need to graduate from this school. It is when they are away for their trials that everything changes, because their school is attacked by a rival school, And the school gets damaged so bad that it actually falls into the ocean and everyone inside the school does not survive. So Anna, with 20 for classmates and their least favorite teacher, they soon realize because they are away, they are the only survivors left from the school. And that's when things that they thought were fiction actually are the truth. And Anna may have a destiny that she does not want to be part of, but she doesn't have a choice. Now, this is a reimaging of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. It's filled with adventure, there's mystery. We'll have you wondering if something like this really could happen. If you love going into the ocean, some like steampunk type stuff, Daughter of the Deep. Our last one is Other Side of the Sky. So first, in a completed duology, the science fiction meets some fantasy. There's a little bit of both in here. It's all about trying to decide which is more important, saving your people or allowing a bond to exist that is not supposed to. So Prince North lives in a kingdom in the sky. Now the people living in the sky, they do not think that anyone below them lives on the land, what they call below Earth, basically. So when North goes on his glider one day and it crashes, he is shocked to find that there is a person on there, this girl named Nim, who is there to help save him from this burning wreckage. Now, Nim is a goddess who is so desperate to save her people, but she cannot go near them because they are being ravaged with this disease that if you touch them, you pretty much automatically get sick. She can't touch them because she's supposed to be the one that saves them. That's her destiny. Now, as their lives start to intertwine and intersect, they both want something from the other that they are unwilling to give up or unwilling to do, all while facing their destinies and realizing that this may be something they don't want to accept, or maybe they're going to have to. This action-packed, especially in the second half, I will tell you, the first half of this can get a little slow, may seem like it's dragging, but I promise the second half, the action completely picks up, makes up for the first half. Action-packed second half, intricate plot is one that is worth the slow beginning, but it's needed to set the scene. This is The Other Side of the Sky. So these are the 6 of the books we have here at the library. They are science fiction. These are books that, as far-fetched as they may seem, could actually really happen in the future. So I encourage you to come out, check out one of these, or believe it or not, we do have a ton of other science fiction books, and there's a whole bunch of different types. There's literally, what I love about science fiction, not over-exaggerating. There are so many different types of science fiction that there is something for everyone. So come on out and we will help you find that perfect science fiction book. I hope you tune back next week. We have a whole new teen book spotlight, and I hope you have an amazing week.